r/ask Reddit. What can men get away with that women can't? Simultaneously being bald and having a beard. My grandma is trying out this look, but I don't suggest it. Damn it, you've just ruined my plans for when I'm an old lady. Publicly roasting their friends. If a woman is wearing a questionable shirt, her friends will say, oh, that's cute. If a guy shows up to a gathering wearing a pork pie hat, you know damn well his friends are going to clown on him. Having extra hair on their body. This reminds me of the time my mom and I were discussing bikini waxes. I want one, but she doesn't understand why I would want to look like a child and asked me, so if you shave everything, you would think it's okay for your boyfriend to shave everything. Then we had one of the most awkward conversations we've ever had. I had to explain to her that his hair down there was like a fuzzy, prickly mop that just dried up all my juices and itched me horribly. So he does shave down there for me. She said we must look like toddlers fooling around with each other. I told her this isn't the 70s anymore. My boyfriend loves going to the pub and chatting with the Jesus, all men. Sometimes I wish there was a public room full of tipsy old ladies I could chat to. Find your local bingo hall. Just don't win. Those little old ladies will turn on you in a heartbeat, lol. I won a $1,500 game and those ladies are savage. Can confirm. My boss, 30-year-old, goes to the local grocery store dining area, high V for my Midwesterners, on Friday mornings and has breakfast with this group of random old dudes in their late 70s, early 80s. He loves it. Says they have great stories. Being calm, direct, and serious in nature. I try to be as professional as possible, but many people think I'm a stuck-up beach because I don't smile excessively and talk a lot. Yeah, there was that study where they had a description of a stoic businessman named Frank and asked people who read the story to describe Frank, and they all said professional and cool. But then when they changed the name to Lisa, people said, oh, she sounds mean and cold. I read about it in the Leaning book. Using couchsurfing.com without much anxiety. Bedbugs don't see gender. They do. They just don't care. Not participating as much in raising their kids. If my husband watches our son for 2 hours while I go out for dinner once a month, he's the world's greatest dad. The standard is so low it should be offensive to men. We went out to eat once and my husband finished up while I tended to our son. He then offered to take our son to the car while I finished. Our waitress came back and actually said to me, "You're so lucky to have a man watch your baby. We both wear wedding bands and the kids ginger as they come. Pretty obviously ours." I'm also the one who gets shit heaped on me for anything people perceive to be wrong about our parenting. My husband is absolved. I was a stay-at-home dad for 9 years. It always irritated me that people looked at a dad spending time with his kids as a weird thing. I hear you. I'm a house husband and I love it. I've had a whole spectrum of opinions voiced to me, including, "Wow, you must be bored. Oh no, job market is tough, hey? That's a bit gay, don't you think? You and your kid's mum split up, did you? Haha, daddy and son's day out. Must sting a bit your wife being the breadwinner. People really can't understand I love watching and helping my kids grow up, and I actively enjoy keeping a home. Duck me right? Walking home alone at night. I can't imagine being completely terrified every time I needed to take even just a short walk home. I do this frequently, and I'll not lie, I get harassed. But duck it, I'm going to the movies alone now, because I'm not going to let sexually frustrated a-holes dictate where I do or do not go. Good on you. For real though, be safe. As much as it is your right and you should have every reason to feel safe, doesn't make it true. My general philosophy on this is, the more you modify your behavior to accommodate these people, the more they win and feel validated. I have no illusion that I'm safe. Things have gotten physical in various degrees on several occasions, but I refuse to live my life in fear. I try to make calculated risks based on the hour, the neighborhood and my knowledge of it. But that's really all you can do. Peeing inconspicuously anywhere they want without either having piss drop down their thighs or popping a squat. Do you guys understand how lucky you are that you don't need TP or wiping after a piss? Haven't seen it, and, as a woman, I'm doing it right now and getting stares. But sitting at a bar alone to drink. In the movies, this makes you mysterious. In real life, this makes me appear to be a loser. Lone men drinking in a bar aren't exactly hot shots either. Being an ass without being accused of being on their period. So my partner and I have literally the same master's degree, but when people talk about something in our field, they always want to know his opinion and don't even bother asking me. Not sure if this is a general thing though, just one of my pet peeves. Boyfriend and I were in culinary school. I graduated first, and he eventually couldn't graduate because of ducking English professor never putting in his final grades and him sucking at philosophy. People always referred to him as "Hey chef" and ask him advice for cooking and other stuff. Personally, I never felt much like I earned the title of chef. Even hearing novice chef feels weird, but they always act like I chose a hobby while his is a career. I've even been told a woman can't use a wok or that I couldn't wear my glasses in the kitchen or that they were looking to hire a man. It's frustrating as hell trying to get work in East Texas. My sil was a mechanic and had to move to Houston to get treated seriously. So do women belong in the kitchen or not? Sexists need to make up their mind. Enjoying certain things, sports, video games, music, without being questioned. Oh, so you think you're all Niners fan? What was the name of their 1979 quarterback's dog? They only won 2 games that year, so it should have been Steve DeBerg's only friend. Wearing the same clothes. Guys get to have 5 shirts and 2 pants and it's clothes for a month. I work in a studio where I'm the only female. I did a test run of wearing the same outfit every day for a week. I quizzed a co-worker about it and he was amazed that he hadn't noticed. Kept it up all winter. Men honestly don't notice clothes unless they're a statement. And even then, my housemate is a proper glittery punk with outrageous costumes. And it registers as outrageous and colorful, but I honestly wouldn't realize if she used the same outfits twice in a row. The double standard of having a lot more sexual partners. Yay, a woman sleeps with 20 men, and she's a horse, when a guy does the same thing, and he's gay. Definitely gay. Not worrying about an appearance. Like if I'm lazy, I'll roll out of bed in the gym shorts and t-shirt I wore to sleep, grab my keys and wallet, and go right to my car to get shopping done. Most girls I know would be mortified to do that. There's so much pressure to look pretty. I'm fine to go out without makeup and just throwing a baseball cap on, but I do have to take a minute to put a bra under my shirt. I just can't bear to walk around with the outline of my nips visible. No matter how unappealing a bra sounds, I'd feel way too sexualized without a bra when I want to be under the radar. My older sister has a master's in HR. She has 18 years experience in the field and also handles payroll for the company she works for. The guys at her job expected her to make coffee and handle all incoming calls. She told them, "I'm not a secretary nor am I a barista." They proceeded to ostracize her. It continues to this day and she has no idea what to do. Someone in another reply mentioned that it's harder for women to be serious without someone thinking that they are being a bitch. I flat out wish I could walk into her office and just Tasmanian devil their ass. Then again, I'm pretty stupid and my answer is always to go Tasmanian devil on a situation. I was an office administrator in a place full of male engineers. Second day they send over the senior guy to tell me the coffee pot is empty. I could tell what he was angling for. The new girl to become the coffee slave. I just shrugged and said, "Oh thanks. But I don't drink coffee," and played dumb when he tried to explain that's not what he meant until he felt like an a-hole. This is definitely a bad thing no matter who does it, and most men do not do this. People shouldn't get away with this, but they do. It's thing where you date someone for a while. Things are going well, you move in together, then bam. You turn around and say, "Honey, I expect you to do all my laundry, cooking, and cleaning from now on. After all, you are my wife now." This happened to a couple of my friends. I have only seen this seismic shift in power dynamics from the male partner towards his female partner, not the other way around. While they're living separately and dating, the guy is fine doing his own household chores. Then once he moves in with a girlfriend wife, he expects her to take on all chores. Mama's boys are bad for this. They move out, grow up, clean up after themselves, but revert back to being a messy teenager. The girlfriends end up caving, cleaning up after them, and become their mother. When the relationship and sex life goes south, the guy doesn't know why. When you have to pick up a guy's sweaty jitch off the floor after repeatedly asking him to, you don't want to have wild passionate sex on a regular basis. This is exactly where the age-old being married equals no sex thing comes from. It is exactly ducking this. You turned her role into mom, and she turned your role into child as a result. She doesn't want to sleep with a child. You played yourself. Getting the snip. For men, they just walk into the doctor's office, lay down on a table, and within 10 minutes they are done. Sterile and still firing, and often no questions about their decisions. For women, it's a huge battle, especially when you're younger, and often impossible. You'll be told that you're too young to do this, that your mind will change as you age, and if you somehow jump through all the hoops and the courts don't rule you down, it means thousands of dollars out of your pocket to go to hospital. Honestly, I don't even care about the cost. I just want a free choice to do what I want with my body. And before anyone bothers to chime in with a comment about how women have got so many contraceptive options to choose from and men don't, let me just point out that hormonal birth control can wreck a woman's body in so many ways. I ended up with osteoporosis because of it. So far, those brittle bones in my lumbar spine have been fractured 3 times, leaving me with constant pain, and considering myself lucky I can still walk. For some reason, this was considered a better idea than just letting me get my tubes tied. Yes, there should be more contraceptive options for men, but that means men are going to have to learn to take the side effects too. Dating someone much younger than them, or shorter. I'm a 5 minutes and 11 seconds female and would have no problem dating a man shorter than me. Guys don't really approach me, though. My daughter is 6 feet 1 inches. My advice to her was, if you like someone, ask them out to coffee. It isn't going to be the easiest thing you do, but from my own experience, 6 feet tall, the guys who approached me weren't the kind I wanted to date anyway. At least making the first move. You know if he's the kind of guy you want around. I would be ecstatic if a girl asked me out for coffee. Interrupting, especially in a business environment. When I try to talk, men will start a sentence like they were speaking into silence. Once, I interrupted a male co-worker, and the room would have been less hostile if I had murdered a toddler instead. I stopped caring about that reception when I realized interrupting is the only way I would ever get a word in. Yup, and I've learned to say hold on and finish my thought, even though it still makes me incredibly anxious when I do it. The freedom to not care about certain things, cleanliness, other people having a good time, with no social repercussions. There have been many things I couldn't do because, as a woman, I was supposed to know better and be the grown-up. The freedom to get to be the immature one sometimes. For example, in the past when my apartment has been a little messy and I have guests over, some people will make comments to me about how I could have cleaned up before they came over. For your information, these are not friends. These are usually older relatives, co-workers, acquaintances, etc. But my now husband, before we moved in and got married, had a pretty messy apartment and no one ever judged him for it. Even now that we've lived together for a while, he'll try to reassure me that no one cares if our house is messy. This is because he doesn't realize that there are people who do, and I will be the person blamed for it. A similar thing happened with planning our wedding. It was assumed mostly by relatives and older family friends that the logistics, planning, and organization was all on me. If it was a success, congrats. Murder Kitty is now a successful, grown-ass adult woman. If anything is slightly off, and they will find something, then the entire blame would be completely on me because I should have known better. I tried explaining that we planned our wedding as partners and had equal say. We truly did. But these people didn't believe me. Posting a mildly controversial opinion without worrying about getting 20 replies saying not all of us. Or maybe it's just you. It's a bit hilarious comparing the responses here and the ones on the "what can women get away with" thread. Also adding on, look, it applies to both genders, you know. And that's not 100% accurate. See, there was this one time where this happened instead, so I'm calling bullshit. And I have personally never seen that happen before. So you're making that shit up. Readjusting, scratching themselves in public. Slowly stretch his leg across room to get balls unstuck from legs. just going out to buy a pack of smokes and never coming back. I'm still waiting for you, dad. Not being attractive. An unattractive man and an unattractive woman are going to get pretty much the same amount of hit-ons. Yeah, but an unattractive woman lives in this weird double category where she simultaneously doesn't exist and is inherently offensive by her very nature. Like she's shirking a duty or something, so the world must shun her. I legitimately think about this all the time now because one time I saw a photo of Donald Trump, not doctored to make him look good or bad, just talking, and it occurred to me that if a woman looked anywhere close to his level of fat as ill-fitting suits, wrinkly double chin, there is no ducking way she would be elected president. Transplant the exact same personality into a woman as comparably ugly as Trump and she'd have no supporters. It's wild. Peeing your name in the snow. It just seems like if a woman wanted to do that it would be unlegible. You have to shuffle around like a crab. It's not impossible. Men can get out of a car repair place without getting ripped off because a shop will assume they know about cars to see through the bullshit charges. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.